Here are the 10 things I do every single day. If I didn't do the following things, there is no way I'd be the person I am today. These are the things I rarely talk about on video, and today I'm going to share some of them with you. Let's dive in. Rule number 1. Whenever I finish a conversation with someone that I care about, I finish with, love you. People often will keep the word love away from other people, but there's no reason to do this. You lose nothing by sharing love with others, and all you do is you multiply the love. Rule number 2. I would rather sleep for 6 hours and work out than sleep for 8 hours and not. I go to the gym basically every single day. In my case, I bench press almost every single day. Most people argue for the value of rest days, and here's my thought on that. Rest days will make it so that you have a higher output per minute in the gym. But for me, I don't just work out because I want to get yoked. I work out because the endorphins make me feel really good. I have ADHD, and so it's one of the things that helps me center myself. Even if I didn't make any gains, I would still lift. Number 3, counting your macros. In college, I studied renewable energy engineering. I learned that energy cannot be created or destroyed, neither can matter, which means that if you want to gain muscle, you have to eat a caloric excess. When I bulk, I eat between 3,000 and 300 calories per day. Typically, I will eat 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight, so about 225 grams of protein per day. I'll eat about 60 grams of fat per day, and I'll eat anywhere between 130 grams of carbs per day to 350 grams of carbs per day. Number 4, doing things that are outside my comfort zone. If something scares me, I immediately run to that thing and engage with it. Whether it's talking to a stranger, I'll just go and say hello. Whether it's doing a sport I haven't done before, or martial art I haven't done before, or learning a new instrument, I just love learning new things and putting myself outside of my comfort zone. These are typically the things that will result in you growing the most. Number 5, listen to an audiobook. I don't think there's been a day in the last many years that I haven't listened to a podcast or audiobook. Recently, I've been really into podcasts like Founder Misfits or How to Take Over the World that summarize the lives of incredible people that came before. I listen to about 100 books a year, and I've done that for the last 15 years. Number 6, ideating. Before I started Speechify, I would always think about, oh, this sucks, you know, the subway is hot, or it's cold on the way to Boston, or I wish that I found an easier way when I throw a basketball to have it come back to me. And immediately, how can I fix it? And so I ended up building a lot of mechanical products when I was younger. 3D print skateboard brakes, payment system. Today, my brain is constantly thinking about how do I expand the reach of Speechify? How do I make the product better? How do I find more people who will want to use the product? How do I hire other exceptional leaders to come and join the company? And so I'm always engaged in thinking about strategy. First, it starts in the back of my brain, and then I'll get epiphanies, and then I'll get excited, and I'll write them down, and I'll email them to friends, and I'll have a conversation about them, and then the business moves forward from that energy. Number 7, spend some time in Google Sheets. I love tracking my life, whether it be how I'm spending my time, how I'm doing towards my goals, if I'm counting my macros. I have a folder in my bookmarks that has like 20 different Google Sheets that are all the metrics that I run Speechify by. I do the same thing for my fitness, I do the same thing for my philosophy, I do the same thing for adventures that I'm planning. Writing is something that is really, really important for me. It's like having an external part of my brain, and I'm constantly engaged in that. Number 8, create value even in the smallest ways. So I'll give you an example. I get a text message from a friend earlier this week saying there's a guy he really wants me to meet. Really cool dude. He's a subscriber on this channel. So I woke up about an hour earlier just so I could grab coffee with him so I can hear his life story. It didn't take much time for me, but it was very fun to meet someone else in New York who I think is really interesting. If I have something that I think will make the world better, and it takes like a minute to act on it, I always do. Number 9, send a text to someone that is on your mind, telling them you think about them. It is an amazing feeling to get a text from someone that you haven't heard from for weeks or months, who tells you, hey, was just thinking about you. How are you doing? That's so nice that someone was thinking about you. I have a philosophy where if I'm having a conversation with someone and we say something nice about a person who was not there, I will always just pull out my phone with permission and text her the nice thing that was said. It's just a wonderful thing to have friends do this to you, and I do this with my friends all the time, and as a result, I get messages like this all the time as well. It's the easiest way to spread love in your wake when you walk through the world. So why not do it? And number 10, most important, lead with love. So there's 4 core principles at Speechify: extreme product quality, leading with love, frugality, and speed. Recently, we've added always be hiring, take ownership, and reduce scope. When there are complicated tasks that we're doing as a team, figure out how to make them less complicated so you can do it faster. But the most important one is leading with love. And number 11, always over-deliver. One principle that I live by is always under-promise and over-deliver. If you do this, everybody will trust you, everybody will want to work with you. And this has happened many, many times where I tried to recruit somebody to Speechify. They met me, they were like, oof, this guy's a lot of talk. And then a month later, they were like, wait, he said he was going to do this, but he did this. And then a month later, it's like, wait, he said he was going to do this, but he did this. And every single time I consistently over-delivered, and then eventually they joined because they realized that when I talk a big game, I deliver a bigger one. So when I promise you that Speechify will change your life, I really, really mean it. Download it for iOS, Android, or Google Chrome below. Thank you for listening, and check out the next video over here.